Hey guys, what's up? It's Yana. Welcome to day 23 of Camp NaNoWriMo July 2021. I should actually hurry up because it's almost day 24. It's gonna be midnight in like maybe 20 minutes. I just came home maybe an hour ago. I was out on the town with my friend who lives in London and she's back for a holiday, and we had a fantastic afternoon and evening. We had some cocktails, we had a little walk, and then eventually we ended up near the port, or right next to Varna's port, where recently, this used to not be there, but recently they've made it into kind of like a hub with a lot of nightclubs and like restaurants and bars, and there's also kind of a theme park area. So actually this little theme park area is what in a way inspired the topic of today's video. So obviously I'm not going to do a vlog because I haven't really done much editing. I did a little bit in the morning, but I haven't done much today and I haven't filmed it because I've just been busy having fun, which is great. But I do have something to talk to you about. So while we were in this theme park, and it was so nice, the weather is warm, there was a nice breeze from the sea, we went on the Ferris wheel and the bumping carts, and it was absolutely fantastic. But it got me thinking, theme parks are usually kind of considered, they can be creepy locations. They're one of the type of locations for horror films. And of course, my book is supposed to be, I mean, it's not completely a horror story, but it's supposed to be quite creepy. It's kind of like horror, but for kids. Kind of like, I guess, like a series of unfortunate events or Goosebumps or those types of books, the Darren Shan books. It's supposed to be quite creepy and scary. And I realized that a theme park is one of the few locations, the few kind of classic creepy locations that I haven't included in this first book. So it made me really want to include it later on in the second book. So I made some notes about that, and I have some ideas about how to include a theme park in my sequel. However, we're not, obviously the sequel is very far away in the future, so I wanted to talk to you about the creepy locations that I currently have in my novel, because there's quite a few of them. When I kind of started going through them in my head, I realized that I've included quite a few of the really classic horror settings. And I didn't even like do that on purpose. I mean, I did it on purpose because I wanted it to be scary, but I didn't specifically write a list of all the creepy locations in horror movies and then included all of them in my book. But then when I started listing them, most of them are actually there. So I'm just gonna go through all of the scary places that are included in my book, and you get to tell me, do you consider that place scary? What would be the scariest setting for you? And we can just make it into a fun little discussion of what we're all scared of. So here's what I've got. So the first scary location in my book, the first place where anything scary happens, is actually not a scary location. That's just somebody's back garden, so I'm not going to count that. But the first location that is genuinely creepy and scary is a hospital during the night. So I've got nighttime hospital with a potential mental issues patient there. We don't know if the patient in question actually has something wrong with them, or maybe just we think there's something wrong with them, but actually they're right, or we don't know what's going on there. So we have the hospital at night. Another creepy place that we have is the woods. Another creepy place we have is a summer camp, classic horror location. And then yet another creepy place that we have is an abandoned mine. So I have all of these ones, and this is not even counting just the hills that are within the borders of this town, because it's a town in the middle of it. It's got a few hills. It's kind of vaguely based on Edinburgh, in like a very old iteration of this story. It was set in our world except with magic, and this town was Edinburgh, and then subsequently it turned into something completely different, and it's not really Edinburgh anymore in most ways, but it still has a lot of hills around it, so it's kind of based on a Scottish town, even though it's not supposed to be recognizably Scotland. It has some Scottish, as I mentioned in the previous videos, it has some Scottish magical creatures, but it also has magical creatures from other cultures. So it's no longer supposed to be Scotland, it's just supposed to be a completely different universe. But it has the hills, which can be creepy, but I guess they're not like a specifically like creepy location. But those four, the hospital, the summer camp, the woods, and the abandoned mine, I feel like those are just staples of the horror genre. And then potentially in the sequel we're going to have the theme park as well. Let me think, am I missing anything? The rest of it is just kind of like houses. Houses can be scary, but they're not, you know, it depends on the house. It's not a creepy old house. They're mostly normal houses in this one. But one location which is not usually scary, but it becomes very, very creepy in this book is just a regular bus stop, because we have some characters just waiting at the bus stop, but the atmosphere very quickly becomes creepy, and the bus isn't coming, and there's nobody around, and they've been waiting forever, and it's suddenly all abandoned when it shouldn't be. So that's one that I guess is not seen as often as a creepy place. And I think that's about it. I don't think I have any others that are like, you know, that you have seen in horror movies or in scary books or even in scary children's shows and cartoons. So this means that I probably need some more ideas for scary places for the next book. So something that you can help me out with is just to let me know what are your favorite, if you like horror, what are your favorite horror story locations? And even if you don't like horror, what are some places where you feel a little bit scared, whether it was when you were a kid or even now as an adult? Is there something, is there a place where when you end up there you're immediately a little bit like, this is a little bit creepy? Right, so I guess this is all from me for today. I'm sorry this is a very short video with not really much in it, but we've had worse vlogs in the last couple of days where I didn't even have anything to talk about. I just kind of typed at you for 5 minutes and then said bye. But you know, this is the downfall of doing daily vlogs. Trying to come up with something to talk about every day or making progress every day. There's probably not going to be any progress on my book today apart from what I did in the morning, but that's perfectly fine. I had a wonderful day and I feel very inspired, so tomorrow hopefully I'm going to be very productive. So anyway, let me know about your scary locations, and thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.